Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next episode review of Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie, episode 5. And as I said, this is another hilarious, charming episode, but in a very sort of like, well, it was sort of perverted in a way, because whoever knew in this show that how food can look so attractive, sexual, or even perverted, or something like that. In this episode. So, I mean, first of all, okay, our whole gang are going to the river, like they plan to in the summer, and first they immediately want to start eating, right? And how but with how they start prepping all the stuff, and first off, they're worried because first they get scared because Izumi he's holding a knife and he wants to cut an onion, right? Because and we all know how things happen with sharp things with Izumi's around, right? With his bad luck and misfortune, right? But it turns out everything was just fine because he knows how to cook, which so shockingly they're all surprised by, and he knows how to cook. He made things delicious stuff, right? And holding with the kebabs, which it looks pretty good, when it's on the grill. The food looks pretty good on the grill, honestly. But how they're all just sticking in and eating everything. And like with Shikimori, she tried to cook something for Izumi. He takes a bite of it and it's terrible. She can't cook, right? But even though it tasted terrible, like Izumi being the nice guy as he is, right? He'll grin and bear it and eat the rest of her food despite not being that good, though. But and even though we get more embarrassing from from Shikimori, is like, even though like she can't cook, though, I'll try even harder next time. And then when it came to bringing the s'mores in, right? Which I like s'mores. They're really good. They're fun snacks to go camping, right? I always like roasting marshmallows and eating s'mores. When it came to eating the s'mores, I'm like, oh my. When Shikimori was eating the s'more, and she's like, I can eat this stuff like this every day, right? Because it was so delicious that especially Izumi made, right? And when she started licking the chocolate, like licking the chocolate off her fingers, so like what a pervert would be, how they act when they lick the chocolate off their fingers, right? She's like, That has got me right there, and just how the look on Izumi's face when he saw that is like, okay. And then when one of their other friends are sitting there across the table saying, oh, one says like, oh, your wife would like that very much. It's like, what? And he was like, my wife, and then Shikimori's like, I wonder. Oh my god, that is sad. That's always the whole thing. When she was trying to act all sexy for Izumi, right? Oh, oh my god, these two are just so. These two are said like the other couples, like I said before. These two are so fun together, and so they're made for each other. Laughing so much, I'm bawling tears right now. Because that scene just had me laughing like, oh my god, And then afterwards, they would go there. So who would try eating food like that can make it so perverted, especially for her, So yeah. And then afterwards, when they go swimming, Izumi sees a girl being swept by the river. He goes and gets her, which eventually he does save her after she kind of pounds him a little bit because the guy just popped up, out of nowhere. And then when he brings her up to safety, of course, when his misfortune happens, he gets a cramp in his foot. He starts, drowning a bit, and when Shikimori, she comes in, jumps in, and saves him. So at the same time, he's rocking her bathing suit as well, which he also thinks is cute. And she gets it all the little embarrassed look, And then after when they get saved, like the girl comes back and thanks him for saving her, and gives him a little kiss on the cheek, and that just especially for Shikimori's, shocked look on her face, But the thing is, though, they said don't worry about that. She's just a little girl, right? She's just a kid. And afterwards they go around the shopping center, right? And then afterwards they get ice cream. Like, this is where I said more of the perverters of the food, right? Like, she wants Izumi to lick some of her ice cream. And how they play it off. It's like, okay, you know, they wanted this whole perverted thing, right? Was how they want to eat the ice cream, and then he does. It tastes good. Then she wants to do the same thing to his ice cream, and then the same thing out of nowhere. Their buddy friend comes in, and he just eats all of his ice cream like a douche, right? And that just upset her. So she goes and takes a bite out of his ice cream, and the whole competitive's like, I'll eat mine, you know. And that was his whole. It was so fun, right? And like I said, who would making food like that can make so perverted sexy, right? Especially with the Shikimori, with the s'more, the whole thing with the ice cream. And then it's on the train ride home, like everyone starts to fall asleep, and first Shikimori falls asleep, and then afterwards Izumi falls asleep, but he's like laying on his pal, right? And then Shikimori just takes his head and puts it on her shoulder, basically saying, "Oh, you're mine. You laid on my shoulder," basically. I mean, these two are so great together. I mean, it is. They're just so great. They're just so great together. So I look forward to see how more of the relationship goes until they say "I love you" and all that stuff, right? I mean, this show was a very fun episode as well, and well, the show was great in general though, but this episode was very fun, especially the whole sexy thing with the food and also the s'mores and the ice cream. I mean, it was just more just fun, great chemistry between our two characters of Izumi and Shikimori, right? These two are just made for each other. And they're fun, and I don't exclude the fact that they're friends of their friends that came along with it too. Their three other friends are great characters too. Don't get me wrong on there though, but episode 5, just being very shortly brief here, it was another really great episode. I mean, like I said, the food, how can you make food so perverted, right? And Shikimori says, "Oh, how she did with her finger with the licking the chocolate rice," is like, that just really got me there. I'm like, and especially Izumi's reaction too. But yeah, episode 5 was another fun, definitely a fun episode, if you know what I mean. But yeah, really good, you know, and I'm looking forward to seeing more. So that's episode 5 of Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next review. Later.